Hey everyone, Mr. Composto here. I was hoping to talk to you all today about a topic that we spoke about yesterday in class. I know if anybody wasn't here, this is going to be a great video for you, just to sort of give you a heads up about the difference between communism and capitalism. So, communism and capitalism are going to be at the center of this next unit that we're going to be talking about, which is the Cold War. So, I think this is going to be a really good and important introduction to this topic. So to start, I want you all to draw this graph that I've created. So on top, you can make two headers, one communism, one capitalism. Each of them is going to be a column. Now on the left, we're going to have 5 rows, 5 things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the basics of communism and capitalism, the ideals and the goals of each system, which system of government each of these two economic systems promotes, and then 4th and 5th, we're going to ask some questions. We're going to ask, in these systems, who owns things? And finally, how is the economy run in both capitalist and communist systems? So, if you're able to get this down in your notebooks, that would be awesome. Feel free to pause it and take a look at it if you need a little bit of extra time, but we're going to move on here. So, the basics of communism and capitalism. At the core foundation of capitalism is the principle of individual rights. We, since most of us are from America, we know that this is really going to be at the center of American philosophy, the individual right. Conversely, communism is really going to focus on community rights and supporting each member of the community. Now this leads us to the second row, which is going to be the ideals and the goals of communism and capitalism. So, because capitalism is so interested in the individual and individuals' rights, capitalism really promotes the idea of liberty, the freedom from external control. You hear that a lot in America, get the government off my back, things like that. That's going to be something that's been at the center of American philosophy since the founding of the country. Now conversely, whereas capitalism really focuses on liberty, communism focuses on total equality. That means equality for every person. That's the goal of communism, is to eliminate inequality. Now then, to get to these goals, both communism and capitalism need some form of governmental system. Now, so first thing I want to say is that I put under capitalism that the primary system of government is democratic. That is not to suggest that every single country that believes in capitalism is in fact democratic. Certainly, there have been fascist leaders that believe in capitalism. But at the true heart of capitalism, if capitalism is to function in the way it's supposed to function, a democratic system of government where each individual has a say in that government, each individual has the right to give input to that government, a democratic system is going to come about. Conversely, in a communist system, they need a really strong government to direct everything, to ensure that each person is equal, that equality exists in all aspects of society. So therefore, a totalitarian government is the form of government that communism tends to promote. Now, the interesting questions about communism and capitalism. Who owns things in a capitalist system? Well, the individuals own things. And I know that seems, coming from an American perspective, that seems like duh. Of course individuals own things. Ownership is just something we all believe in. It's something that's been a part of our lives since birth. But that wasn't always the case. The idea of private ownership really wasn't around until capitalism began to spread. Now, communism is completely different. Whereas in a capitalist system, a person can own goods and a house and a business. In communism, the state owns all those things. You can't own a business in a communist society. The state owns that business. You probably don't even own a house. In general, you live in a state-run apartment complex or something of that sort. So now the last row I'd like to talk about. How is the economy run? Well, as you've probably heard before, in a capitalist system, the economy is run based on a free market. A free market means that there's no overarching structure that controls the economy. It's free flowing, and it's defined by the law of supply and demand. Now, communism is the complete opposite of that. Whereas a free market capitalist system, no one controls the economy. In a communist system, the state runs the economy. The state directs the economy. It implements policy that directly affect the economy, making it so the economy functions the exact way that the communist government wants it to run. Now, the reason that a communist government needs to control the economy is, once again, if there is no control of the economy, inequality will always come about. Inequality is a product of capitalist system. And to communists, inequality is the worst case scenario. A capitalist, on the other hand, believes that inequality isn't such a bad thing. They believe that by having a free market, even though there's inequality, everybody is better off. The people at the bottom are better off just because the economy is allowed to flow the way it's supposed to. In a communist system, they're scared of that free flowing. They believe that it needs to be controlled to ensure equality for all. So this is a really basic breakdown of capitalism versus communism. If it was confusing at all, after watching it, let me know what questions you have, what didn't make sense, and we can talk through it individually. Whatever you need, I'm here to help you out with, and I just wanted to thank you all for taking a listen to this video, and I want to wish you all a great day. See you soon.